What would you do if you had a hole in your head? It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, but for one man in China in 1928, it was a reality, and he turned it into something extraordinary. Imagine this. A man walking the streets of Chongqing, China, with a candle stuck in his head, lighting the way for others. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is the incredible true story of the Lighthouse Man. Picture the bustling city of Chongqing, China, in the late 1920s. It's a place full of life, energy, and a maze of narrow, dark streets. The kind of place where streetlights aren't always reliable, and the night can be treacherous. Now, imagine a man who's found a way to not only survive, but thrive, in this environment. This man, whose name was never widely recorded, became a local legend. People knew him as the Lighthouse Man because of his uncanny ability to light up the streets at night, using a candle stuck in his head. But how did this all start? How did he come to have a hole in his head? The story goes back to an injury he sustained years earlier, an injury so severe that it left a permanent hole in his skull. It could have been a curse. For most, it would have been a source of pain and suffering. But for the Lighthouse Man, it was an opportunity. Instead of being defeated by the injury, he turned it into a unique advantage. It's said that, in 1928, he decided to insert a 7-inch candle into the hole, where it would sit snugly, lighting the way through the dark streets of Chongqing. With the candle burning brightly on top of his head, he became a walking beacon in the midst of the city's night. People began to take notice. Locals would talk about him in whispers, marveling at how he had transformed his physical misfortune into a source of light and guidance. The streets, which were often dark and difficult to navigate, now had an unexpected guide, someone who was both the light and the way. The Lighthouse Man wasn't just walking the streets, he was illuminating them. He became a fixture in the lives of those who needed to make their way through the dimly lit alleyways. Visitors to Chongqing, lost in the maze of the city, would spot him, his candle flickering in the night, and follow him to safety. His head wasn't just an oddity, it became a symbol of resourcefulness and resilience. What's truly fascinating is how this man's simple invention took on deeper meaning over time. The Lighthouse Man wasn't just a quirky figure in a far-off city. He became a metaphor for human resilience. In the face of injury, he didn't retreat or hide. Instead, he embraced his condition and found a way to use it to his advantage. His candle was more than just a light, it was a symbol of hope in a dark world. For people navigating the shadows of life, whether they were facing literal darkness in the streets or figurative darkness in their own lives, the Lighthouse Man served as a reminder that we all have the ability to find light, even in the most unlikely of places. Sadly, like all stories, the tale of the Lighthouse Man eventually faded into history. But for those who encountered him, his legacy lived on. He was a symbol of ingenuity, a beacon of resilience, and, quite literally, the light in the darkness for so many. So, next time you're walking down a dark street or facing an obstacle in your own life, remember the Lighthouse Man. What may seem like a burden could be an opportunity to light the way for others. Who knows? Maybe your own hole could become the very thing that guides others out of the darkness. With that being said, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel for more captivating stories, and until next time.